So today we're with Sergey Dzyba from Ukraine. And Sergey, you were sent as a missionary for the Church of the Nazarene to Spain. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were connected with that?
That's a very interesting story. In 2015, while I was in the United States, in one of the evening I was walking in one of the neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and I was praying about seeking God's direction in my life, for my family, for my ministry. And God spoke to me very strongly that I need to start Spanish. I need to start learn Spanish. And I was really shocked. Why do I need Spanish? Why? I've never been in Spanish-speaking countries. All my friends, they speak either Ukrainian or Russian or English language, but not Spanish language. Anyway, when I was back to Ukraine, and for another 3-4 months I've been kind of struggling with Spanish. First of all, because the classes or school was very expensive and I cannot afford it. But then the Lord kind of started pushing me, said, Sergey, you need to study Spanish because you're not going to be ready. You need Spanish. You need Spanish for my mission. I had no idea why and what is my mission is. I had no idea. I just started my Spanish. I just took my iPhone, I loaded the program, Duolingo program, and I started studying Spanish just by myself. For probably about 9 or 10 months, I keep studying Spanish. Some of my friends, they even make fun of me. They said, why do you study Spanish? That's really funny. Why do you need it? Are you planning to immigrate or what? I said, no, I don't know why. I just doing it because the Lord wants me to do it. In the end of 2016, I got a call from Scott Rainey, and then another my friend, Randall Waltz from Netherlands. They told me about opportunity to go to Spain, and the congregation in Murcia in Spain, they need someone who speaks Russian, Ukrainian, English, and some Spanish language. And Scott Rennie said, Sergey, for me, you're the perfect person. You just fit perfectly there. Of course, my Spanish wasn't perfect. It was in the level of elementary level. Could speak a little bit, but not really too much. And then I just started to realize that's why I needed Spanish. And from that time, I started to plan my trip to Spain.
All right, so that's an incredible story, Sergey. So you literally feel like you should start learning Spanish, and you download an app on your phone and you get started, and all that leads you into a missionary journey to Spain. Now, you were sent through a program called M+Power with the Church of the Nazarene. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and what was your experience with M+Power?
Yeah, that's right. It's the program called M+Power, and it's been started in the Church of the Nazarene in the Eurasia region. The main purpose of this organization is do some exchange between churches. For instance, if one district or field needed help, and they could ask another field to help them with. In my case, the Spain districts need somebody who would speak Russian, Spanish, and English. And of course, the best place to find a Russian-speaking person is somewhere between Russia and Ukraine. And M+Power, they try to connect churches between each other. And that helps a lot in the ministries in different areas. And all the missionaries stays in the Eurasia region.
It's a fairly new program. I'm glad to hear that you've benefited from it. What was the main way that it helped you?
Well, they help in different ways. First of all, they provide trainings, because if you're traveling to another country, you need to have some knowledge, some understanding with the culture. Of course, they do some preparation. They prepare you as a person to be ready for some cross-cultural shocks, I would say this way, or difficulties you will face with. Of course, they help you officially to go to another district or field officially through the Church of the Nazarene, which is really important. Like for me, I was officially blessed by Ukrainian church to go to Spain. And when I arrived in Spain, they officially just received me and welcomed me as a missionary. And I think it's very important to do things this way.
Yeah, that's a hugely important thing to be sent in an official way, so that especially for the receiving church, that
yes,
they're not just receiving someone, but they're receiving someone that the church blesses, as he said. So can you tell us how did the finances for this trip work out? So going from Ukraine to Spain is an expensive thing, and staying in Spain is also can be financially taxing. So how did that work for you?
Yes, that's another step of faith you need to do. One thing is to start Spanish. It doesn't really cost me a lot. But to go there, I need to trust God. Because for me to raise a certain number of money, it's one thing, just for myself. Because I was a volunteer. I couldn't work there. I just need to be involved in the full-time in ministry. Plus, I need to provide my family. Because I still have a family with 6 kids. That's why I needed about 6 or 7 months just to raise money for this trip. And I did this in a very few ways. First of all, I'm a constructor. I build the houses, frame houses, and I was able to do some work to be able to put aside some money for my family. Was able to raise some money for myself. Of course, I have a lot of people within the church, in my church, from different churches who believe in my ministry, who believe in my call, and they show their desire and they've been willing to support me personally. And they offered their money toward my mission. And that's how I've been able to raise all this money. But I just want to say this. In every way how I make money, it was a miracle. Because I needed a huge amount of money. For me, it was a huge step of faith. But God controlled everything.
Wow, so thanks, Sergey. So you actually managed to go on this mission trip, even needing to raise enough to cover your family with 6 kids in it, and you still went and were able to go.
Yes.
That's incredible. I have one last question for you. Would you recommend the M+Power program to other people that you know, and who should be thinking about looking at it?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I think it's very healthy for your spiritual development. I think it's very healthy for the church in the whole, in our field. Especially if you have a call from God to be a missionary. This program is a good start to do preparation. The M+Power is the short-term mission trips, like volunteer short-term. It helps people to understand their weak parts of their personality, their strong parts of their personality. And I absolutely recommend people to join this program. It helps a lot.
Thank you for taking the time with us, Sergey. Really
welcome.
enjoyed your story. It's absolutely incredible how everything came together and how God sent you to Spain.
Thank you. Praise God.